It is still within grasp with Jesper sitting on the top of the leaderboard in qualifying. I think we're in for a treat here today.
Indeed we are. We're looking at David Ewan at present, who is in 6th place overall. I'm looking to get the standings away from top speed here, Keith. Give me a helping hand.
Yep, no problem. I think it's going to be number... it's going to be... you'll have to excuse me. It's been a while since I've used this myself. Okay.
Quite easy.
Yep.
There we go. Right, yeah. Okay, so at the present, we've got Jesper Talball in 1st place, and that wasn't looking likely in practice. This is of course qualifying. Jack Keithley, our championship leader, runaway championship leader, was looking very pacey indeed in practice. And
one thing that Jesper is famous for is his tactics of not showing his hand. You're familiar with it in WTM for sure, where he's running all practice in full race trim, and then when qualifying comes, all of a sudden he picks up, half a second to a second, and it just seems to be always the way Jesper likes to put things down when he gets in the race form.
He is one of our mystery men, and has done very well in the early parts of the season. Has dropped away a little bit in the middle of the season, and Keithley indeed has been the cars in the field. We've seen wins from Butcher and Strauss elsewhere in the series, but Keithley has been the dominant force so far this season.
For sure. Well, he's looking for his 4th win of the season, I believe, is it not? And that'd be a pretty substantial thing if he could pull off 4 wins in the inaugural season of WSS.
Especially since it's only over 6 rounds. Of course, there's 4 double-header sprint events, but here we're 60 minutes of just a single race, and the full race will be brought to you by MLWC.
Definitely, and it looks like with the pace of Troy and Strauss, the potential for a championship swing at the end here is possible, especially with the way the points are. 3 points for pole, if Jesper can pull it off, will then bring him within 37 points of Jack Keithley. Now, if he scores manages to score the fastest lap, which is within 35 points. Now that brings him to the point where if Jack Keithley finished 4th, he'll score 72 points, whereas if Jesper wins, he'll score 100. So there's a 28-point difference there. He's going to need to finish 5th place or worse for Jesper to have a chance to win the championship, any way you look at it.
And do you think that looks likely?
I mean, anything's possible because it's racing. Things happen. You can lose focus for 1 second, drop a tire, but with Jack Keithley's consistency this season, I don't see that being in the realm of possibility, but you can't rule anything out. I mean, it happens to the best of us. Toby, you've had incidents, I've had incidents, we all have.
Indeed, and it's so easy to damage these cars as well. They're very, very fragile. If you put one into the barrier, it's a lot of damage. Strauss is 2.5 tenths down in the first section. Right, go ahead, Keith.
Oh, well, I was actually I'm catching up with the season just from my hiatus from racing. I watched the first race, the Nürburgring GP, and this corner there was a lot of parts of cars everywhere.
Oh, it was mad. Absolutely mad.
It was madness. So I can see what you're saying about contact causing problems, and in a long race like this, if you get damage early on and you're pitting. The way the tires are wearing, they're getting about 7% per lap they're losing on the tires. So if you have to pit for damage repair, you're really going to mess up your strategy for the race. And I think these guys got to take care of their cars for a 60-minute race, obviously. But guys like Jesper, they don't have anything to lose here. It's a championship on the line, so he's probably going to do anything he can. And same with Keithley. I mean, he's the one with the championship to lose.
Yeah, he's not going to be taking many risks. He just wants to get into the top 5, as you say, and
Absolutely.
Take that championship for himself.
Definitely. Well, with the guest drivers we have, I know Peter Dweebelaar is a guest driver. Was there anyone else that made it, Toby?
Yeah, we've got Norbert Leitner, who is in 8th position.
Another guest driver.
Yep, there he is in the black and orange Albert Audi. And He's in 8th position at the moment.
So what was the deal that was set up for the guest drivers? It was top was it the top finishing guest driver was there was something available to them?
Indeed, if you were the top finishing guest driver, you get 15 euros, and if you win the race outright, you also get 15 euros. It was a double-headed thing, basically to encourage new drivers into the series and into the Touring Pro Series by extension, and also to reward the series regulars who are more likely to win the race.
Definitely. No, I think it's a great idea because obviously with any league that's run as the season progresses through, you end up dropping drivers. It's just a natural progression through a season. Near the end of the season, you start to lose participation, and trying to bring people in is a great way to promote obviously the series and also Touring Pro Series as a whole.
That was the intention. And yeah, indeed, we've managed to get Dave Lar and Leitner. Dave Lar, of course, a former Touring Pro Series regular. He won the World Touring Masters Championship, Season 2 Championship. So he's going to be quick. And Chris Guthrie is another Touring Pro Series regular, and he goes 5th with a 152.8. And that is 6 tenths off pole.
Well, it's tightened up at the front now. Jesper has not been able to better his time of 152.207, but Keithley has slowly been chipping away at the time. And if he makes a mistake, he's off the track and goes back in and starts over again, and he's down to a 152.273, which is only 0.06 of a second off Jesper Talberg, and 3 points against the championship here.
Talberg messed up the end of his lap, but he was already down on his own time, so probably
really?
wouldn't improve. Yeah, just now. They've all got one more run left in them. There's 2 minutes left of qualifying, and Talberg's going out, and it's about 1 minute 55 to do an outlap here, so he's just about going to get through in time, so he's not going to be held up by too much traffic and so on. But Talberg, on the moment, is in pole position, provisional pole. And people like Jack Keithley, who is about to start his final flying lap, and want to take that away from him.
Oh, for sure. Oh, the other thing that I was mentioning before we started here was if Jack Keithley can manage to get the pole and the fast lap in the race, that he only has to finish 6th or better to win the championship. I believe. Oh, sorry. If he finishes 5th, he'll win the championship by 1 point. That was what it was. I think my math's pretty bad. I've been in school for quite some time.
No problem with that. But either way, Keithley would like to take pole position and make his life a lot easier in the race. It's easier to chase someone down than it is to hold on to a lead.
Yes, definitely. Well, you had the pleasure of trying to chase down our guest driver Peter Duivelar in the WTM season.
Wasn't exactly a pleasure, I can tell you. He was very good, very good indeed in WTM, and deserved champion in the end.
Absolutely.
And here he is in 4th position, so he's managed to get ahead of Chris Butcher and Tomasz Matuszewski to move into 4th provisionally, of course. And 4th place to put him on the 2nd row of the grid, so it was a great opportunity to get into the leading battle early on.
And Peter definitely is one to be racy. He's not one to wait time. He's here to win. He's got one thing on his mind, winning that guest driver bonus for sure. But it looks like so far he's 2 tenths down on Jesper's time, so he could be looking to improve, potentially taking 3rd position away from Florian Strauss.
Strauss is one of those drivers who's been a little bit up and down in the WSS this season. Sometimes doing no fault of his own. He's been involved in 1 or 2 first-class incidents as well. But he won a race last time out at the A1 race, so he has got form in this championship. Dave Lau is 4 tenths down, so he looks like he's going to improve. How's Keithley doing? He's coming through the final section now, and directly behind him on track is Florian Strauss, who is purple. Strauss has gone purple. He's gone 0.08 of a second quicker, and he's coming through the final chicane now. We saw him make a slight mistake on the outlap. He comes through the final chicane now, and will come across the line, and it's been very tight this lap so far. Let's see if he manages to take provisional pole. No.
Threading the needle
15
Keithley. Wow.
15 hundredths of a second
Wow.
And yeah, very close indeed for Strauss.
Wow, that was phenomenal to squeeze in between the two of them. There was only 600ths of a second between them, and Florian manages to squeeze into second place. Thus actually giving him a little bit of a gap now between him
Absolutely. Wow. Matuzewski in 5th position there, crossing the line. None of the leaders have got a lap left, so it looks like the top 4 is locked out unless Butcher can do something about it. No, he stays in 6th position. David Yunt is in the pits. Norbert Leitner, one of our guest drivers, hasn't looked quite like he's got the pace to do anything about the leading 4, who really have, well, the leading 3 certainly have blitzed the field.
Yeah, definitely.
And David Lara, Matuzewski and Butcher in behind them as well as a sort of second tier, and Leitner is 1.5 seconds slower, so I don't think he's going to improve even on his own lap time here.
But now, unfortunately, you were not able to race, Toby. And what was it? What had happened? I'll explain to the viewers what happened with the incident.
Effectively, I dropped a plank of wood, crushed my thumb, and I've got ligament and tendon damage in my thumb. So, unfortunately, I'm clicking buttons with the mouse rather than turning a wheel and flapping paddles, which is a bit of a shame. I was looking forward to joining this one, so.
What was your pace quick? Did you get any practice in prior to the incident?
Yeah, I managed to get sort of not these sort of times, but in race pace I was doing sort of 54, so I was feeling reasonably confident to be in there or thereabouts anyway.
Okay, so now we got the field here. Did you want to do a rundown, Toby?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Jesper Kalborg in 1st position, with Florian Strauss in 2nd alongside him on the front row of the grid. Keithley and Davila are on row 2, so we'll be looking to those two to see whether they can advance through the field and get up with the leaders. Matuzewski and Butcher are on row 3, and David Yunt and Norbert Leitner on row 4, so Leitner having a good showing as well in 8th position. James Johnson a little bit out of sorts alongside Ben Tusting, who round out the top 10, and both of those two have been battling with the leaders so far this season, so they'll be a little bit disappointed to be that far down in the top 10. Venison and Capano in 11th and 12th positions, and Musgrove and Łukasz Demelin in 13th and 14th, and Benari looks like he's rounding out the top 15 drivers here today, and 1 or 2 not turning up, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it seems to be a typical thing that happens at the end of any season. It seems people do feel they don't have a responsibility to be there, but with all the work that you've put in, and with any league, the drivers do have to respect that there is a lot of work put in behind the scenes, and it should be appreciated by showing up for every race, and at any time possible being here to support the league that you've agreed to support. So. But this should be a good race, so Toby. I think we should see some action up front. Matuzewski, he actually set a pretty quick time considering his pace in practice. He was down in the 52.7, I believe he managed to pull off. So he's not that far off of the front guys, and it doesn't take much, like as you said, to damage a car. But if you get a car in between, we're talking 6 guys all in the 52. So. There's a potential to see a championship change here at the end of the season.
Indeed there is. I've just been advised that the commentary is being lost a little bit in the engine sound, so just adjusting that.
Okay. Now, let's see. If Jesper's got pole, he's within 37 points. 40 points back. It's 37 points away now. It's going to be P5 or worse for Keithley. Even if he gets the 2 points, he's going to be 35, and 35 is going to be Keithley finishing 5th or worse. 64 needs actually for Keithley to finish 5th or worse. Jesper will need the fast lap of the race, and if he wins and Keithley finishes in 5th place, he will be winning the championship by 1 point, which is a pretty tight margin considering. So there's a lot of things that have to go right for this to change, but things can happen. Anything can happen if Keithley suffers any type of technical issue, suffers any damage. We're going to see a change in the championship as long as Jesper can keep it together at the front. Florian Strauss is no slouch by any means. He suffered an unfortunate disconnect at the last WTM race where he would have been a big factor in the overall standings of the race, where Toby Davis ended up, our commentator here, had an incredible victory at the last WTM race and is now a near perfect season in WTM, which I don't really want to jinx for him.
You're so kind, Keith.
Well, maybe I won't say your name for the rest of the season like I do with that guy Ben or something.
No, do say my name. I like my name.
Yeah, okay. So Toby Davis having a great season in WTM. Unfortunately, we're not able to race here at Suzuka for the final race of his own championship in the inaugural season. So I would like to say hats off to you, Toby, for putting together a good season, and look forward to watching some more races and seeing some more events put on by Toby under the TouringProSeries umbrella.
Certainly, we've got the second season of WSS is coming up in early spring, and that should be good. There's a nice little mod I've got lined up for that one that I won't reveal too much about. But
is it Soapbox Derby racing? Because I'm in if it is.
No, it's just Destruction Derby in
yes.
on the Wembley Race of Champions arena.
Okay, well, make sure you get me signed. I want to pre-sign up for that because I'm in. So we're coming near the end of warm-up here. 30 seconds to go. Toby is just reminding everyone we're going to be doing a rolling manual formation lap for a rolling start. Today's race is going to be 60 minutes total, which, with pit stops, we're looking at, what do you say, maybe 26 laps, Toby?
I can't do that sort of maths.
I'm just doing a quick in my head.
Overall, it's going to be just over 30, about 34, I think.
Really? Okay. Because I was factoring in the warm-up. Is the warm-up lap not counted against the 60 minutes?
Well, yeah, but I've already factored that in as well. I've made the race 63 minutes overall.
Okay. It's very, very clever. So we're going to be looking at, as Toby said, about 30 laps or so.
Should be good. Now let's hope everyone's sensible. On the formation lap, we've seen once or twice this season. Hasn't been the case, so. No, it's gone to night. Not good.
We seem to be having a small technical difficulty here. It looks like it's pitch black at Suzuka. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be looking into solving this problem, so just bear with us for just a moment, people.
This is what you get for using the same server as the WTM. So I'm just going to do a quick server restart here. And we'll be up and running in 5 minutes.
Okay, so just hold tight, everyone. Toby is on the case. We'll be back with you in a moment here.
Yeah. Just keep yourselves occupied for the next couple of minutes. What annoys me is it says, oh no, it does. It's 1 AM, not 1 PM. My bad. Right, that should be fixed. Hopefully. Right, just bear with us a couple of minutes, guys, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Right, we seem to have fixed it, and if the server loads, which it does, excellent news. Sorry about that, guys. We'll be up and running in about a minute's time.
Yep, technical issues are not an uncommon problem, especially when you're dealing with, dealing with an online racing game. There's always a little thing that could be wrong. We suffered a couple of technical issues in the ATCC season. Our first broadcast, it ended up being about a 3-hour-long broadcast. And WTM also had a number of little things, weird little bugs that came in and bit us. But it's a matter of perseverance and sticking to it, which we're doing here. Toby's just working through the grid here now. I'm just going to send you the list here, Toby. So we know where the grid is at. So I'll just actually, while I type this, it's going to be Jesper, Florian, Jack, Peter Duivelar, Thomas, Chris, David Junt, Norbert Lettner, James Johnson, Ben Tusting in 10th, Morton 11th, Alexis in 12th, and Rob in 13th is what I have here. I just sent that to you, Toby, as I was reading it.
Excellent. Thank you, yeah.
So what Toby will be doing is reading off the grid as they do their formation laps, so we can get everyone back in the positions they were in from qualifying, their right in qualifying. And we'll be doing the manual formation lap, which should take about 3-4 minutes. And then we will be headed off to start the final race of the World Supertech Series Championship in its inaugural season. And hopefully after this we can see ourselves some good racing and potentially a championship change where Jesper will be seeking his second Touring Pro Series title. As we kind of crowd along here, I'm going to get along board someone here.
Yep, get us on board with someone interesting.
Yep, I'll look up a couple things here. Going around with our onboard.
What are you looking for, Keith?
I just was looking for when you're on board with the car. It'll tell you which car you're on board with. I guess it only does that when you cross the line.
Yeah, probably. It's highlighted in the bottom, so it's the white name in the bottom of the screen.
There we go.
On board
So
with David now. Keith Lee, Strauss, Talbot.
So on board with Jesper Talbot as they traipse through Suzuka here. Beautiful circuit under the bridge. As they head around for their formation lap, and we have someone around in the background. See who we're dealing with here. It looks like Yari Venari went around, or someone else, maybe Alexis Capano. But let's get back to the front of the grid where we're going to be coming up to the rolling start.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the 40 mile an hour or 65 kilometers an hour slow down line where they go from 100 miles an hour to 40 miles an hour ready for the start. It's a very slow rolling start, but rolling start was necessary to avoid huge start line crashes.
Yes, like DTM does suffer quite often.
Indeed, and these cars are very difficult to get off the line, especially with no high temperature and especially when you're racing, getting hot-headed. It was just a nightmare. Absolutely.
So now, what will Florian Strauss do? He's got the pace. Obviously, he was very close to taking pole away from Jesper. And Florian went off the track there for a second.
Yeah, just about got away with that one, didn't he?
Not exactly sure what's going on there, but
they should all be going to 2x2 formation now, and we wait for the start. And as soon as everyone gets into position, we will be rolling. So the field of 10 cars comes through, and they wait for the signal to start them off on their race, which goes now, and they get away well. That's Talborg on the inside making a good getaway, and Jack Keithley as well drafting in behind him. And as they head towards turn 1, it looks like Strauss on the outside has been bottled a little bit out of position there, and Keithley's going up on the inside of him and trying to get by, but Strauss is fighting back around the outside and retakes that position. That was very brave indeed from the German driver, and Keithley held into 3rd position, and David are sniffing around behind him as well. And in the background, Matuzewski's made a good start in 5th place, Leitner in 6th with Butcher in 7th position, and Junt rounds out the top 8, but Strauss indeed in 2nd position behind Talborg, and he's looking to take the lead away from Jesper Talborg, and it's been a very clean start further back as well.
James Johnson's gone around. I just caught that on my screen here. It looked like he just caught the curve on the outside and just quick spin, untouched, didn't hit anybody, and he's carried back on, but he's lost a fair bit of track position here now. At the back.
Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he's indeed in 15th place at the back of the field, so he's got some work to do, and he's been in that position before. He did that at A1 ring as well, so he's got plenty of work to do. In fact, he dropped a long way back from the field. But back towards the front, and it's Talborg still leading from Strauss, and the gap's 0.4 seconds, so they're very close together indeed. And Keithley behind them a little bit further back. He's 1 second back from Jesper Talborg, with Davilar seemingly all over the back of him and looking for a way past. And the front of the field is pretty much status quo. Chris Butcher further back is battling with Norbert Leitner there, and they seem to have dropped David Junt. I wonder what happened to Junt. He's dropped back a couple of seconds, and he's got Tusting and Capano all over the back of him. And and someone looks like they were round.
Oh, who is that?
Who is that indeed? Strauss, Florian Strauss was round, and he's going to drop back hugely through the field, and obviously battling with the leader as Mendes for whatever reason.
Pull this back here and see if we can see what happened.
Go on, run it through, Keith.
Let's see. Okay, I went a little far back there, but it just looks like he just came into into the hairpin and locked up. It looks like Jesper locks up. So Jesper gets real sideways. Florian comes up on him, and I guess when he lands,
it's over the curb. Over the curb.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack.
Was nearly hit by Davilar. Very nearly indeed. He's down in 10th position now, Strauss. But that frees up Keithley. And Davilar all over the back of Keithley as well. So Talborg has got a 2-second lead, and looks like he desperately wanted this one.
Yes, definitely. He's looking for race with 3, but championship wise, he needs some help here. He needs to drop back to 4 positions, at least for him to have a chance at the championship. Keithley and Weevil are actually they've raced quite a bit together, so I don't think there's going to be any shenanigans there. I wouldn't think so, but Weevil does have that incentive of the guest driver bonus.
Well, he's pretty much got that guest driver bonus thrown up. It's only Norbert Leitner, the other guest driver, and he's down in 5th place. But it's the other 15 euros he's eyeing up, the one that counts for the race win as well.
Definitely,
and
yes.
Davilar all over the back of Keithley at the moment, and looking for a way past.
That was really weird how as he came down, Florian there, I guess he must have either been just on the throttle a bit. Oh, as you say that, there's the fast lap that Jesper was looking for so far. Long race still, but it was weird. When he landed, he must have been a little bit on the throttle, causing him to get around as soon as the car landed.
Yeah, it is possible to do that. If you spin the wheels up in these, they do like to go around very easily indeed. David Junt and Tusting look very, very close together.
I'm going to pull this back a little bit here.
Yeah, go for it. That looked like a move by Tusting to take the position away from David Junt.
If you want to, what is the button for the replay there?
I've done it. Yeah, Tusting on the inside as they head towards turn 1.
Nice pass.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good move that. Goes up the inside, minimal contact, and Tusting takes the position away from Junt as we go back to the live racing. And excellent from Junt there.
That was very good on his part to keep it together there, because he had the inside. There was no recourse on his action there. Tusting just made a nice draft pass down the front straight away to the inside there. Junt he had to take it. It's unfortunate, but that's racing. And Butcher and Leitner are in a heated battle here.
Let's have a look. back from Leitner's car, looking back at the Audi of Chris Butcher, and Butcher's all over him. He's going on the outside, coming into the spoon curve, one of the more famous of Suzuka's curves, and Butcher looking for the cutback as well, and nothing, he's not going to do it there, but these cars have very good slipstream qualities, so Butcher will be looking to get him as they head down the back straight towards 130R, one of the best corners in the world in my opinion. It's a nearly flat left-hander in the DTM. Look at the slipstream, he's not going to make a move through there, surely. It's flat out almost. Butcher nearly into the back of him, nearly into the back of Norbert Leitner. He's going around the outside as they head into the Casio triangle, and Leitner's got the higher ground, but Butcher will be able to cut him back as they head onto the pit straight. And Butcher needs to get in the slipstream and needs to get alongside as they head towards turn 1. Now, he's in behind him, Keith.
Oh, is he going to do it? He's trying to pull a move like Ben did. He's going to have to go deep in here, but he doesn't want to run him wide. Give any contact.
Not much braking zone, Chris. Oh, he's on the inside, but didn't quite get it done. Leitner defending very well indeed at that point. And
it looks like Buchacho's got the pace over Leitner. What he's got to do is he's got to think that and maybe leave a little bit more room heading down the front straightaway so he can pull a move like Tustin did. Because if you leave about 2 or 3 car lengths, you're going to get that draft and you'll be able to pull up alongside and take that turn 1 and 2 from the guy you're trying to pass. Yeah,
Butcher didn't quite have a big enough gap to slipstream into. Was too close to Leitner, and with no way through, still looking for a way through. There's no way into the Daimlers.
Oh, and Dweebler has got by Keithley. Or was that the way it was? No,
Dweebler has indeed, yeah, he's got by Keithley. I wonder if we can see that on the replay.
I think it might have happened a little while ago. Oh, there. Did he pull what I think he just pulled? I think.
Is this going round the outside?
Oh.
Through the S's.
Wow.
It is, isn't it? Look at this. Dweebler around the outside of our series leader and potential champion Jack Keithley. What a move. What a move. He wants the €30 here, does Dweebler. And wow, we miss you in the TouringProSeries, my friend.
Yes,
what an excellent move.
That's a welcome back pass right there.
It is indeed. We're looking at Butcher and Leitner once again. Look, Butcher right up on the back of Leitner. Leitner's running a little bit wide over the curbs. He's on the grass. Butcher around the outside. Now Butcher needs to sweep in. There's contact between the two. Butcher comes through on the inside through the final part of the Casio triangle. Gets a twitch on though. Leitner's coming back at him. Leitner's got the run off the Casio triangle, and they're going to go side by side as they head down the pit straight. And Leitner doesn't have the run. He might have a tiny bit of overlap here. No, he ducks in behind Butcher, thinks better of a move. Wow. So Butcher just about squeezes through. And let's have a look at that again. That was mental.
That was great racing on both their parts. Unbelievable. Look at that. He just gets on him a little bit of an arrow push.
Oh, look at that. Leitner almost sideways over the grass and almost lost control. Wow. But Butcher manages to book that pass and make it done. Well done, Chris Butcher, to avoid contact as well in that situation.
Very well done. And there's a big battle now with Florian Strauss, who's on an absolute tear right now. He's on the bumper of Ben Tustin. And I don't think he's going to be waiting any time to...
Oh my God, round the outside! No way he's going to get that one done. There's no grip out there at all. Wow. And Strauss nearly hits the back of Tustin there as they head into Daimler. And there's no way through. He's going on the inside of Tustin now. Bumps him through and just about takes the position. Strauss is an angry man. He wants to take that position back. He believes he has got the pace to be at the front of the field, and we've seen that in qualifying as well. And he qualified very well indeed. No, he isn't. Tustin coming round the outside, and then it's a spring, more contact. Tustin on the outside, there's more contact. And now Tustin in behind Strauss as they head down the back straight towards 130 yards. Strauss has got a little bit wide, so his run will be compromised. And now it's Tustin who's got the run. He's on the outside as they head towards 130 yards. This is a very brave place to make a move. He's on the outside, sweeps through. He's got him. David Young's in the background as well. It's going to be 3 wide in a minute. And Tustin on the inside. Strauss, more contact. They touch again. Strauss cuts the chicane. There's more contact. Tustin's round into the barrier. And Tustin just about keeps that one under control. I can barely breathe. And Tustin rejoins. Oh my word. And
go back as far as we can.
Let's just watch the final part of this. So Tustin bumps into by Strauss, and just about avoided the wall, so minimal damage there for Tusting. And where does he rejoin? Rejoins behind, who was that? Looks like Rob Musgrove potentially, or in fact it was James Johnson, I apologise, but yeah.
Wow.
Incredible. Incredible racing.
And we're only at lap 7.
I know. 49 minutes left of this race, and Strauss manages to get ahead of Tusting eventually. That'll of course have to be looked at. There was plenty of contact going on there, but
there was quite a bit of contact there. The TouringProSeries officials will have to be having a look at that.
But we'll enjoy that while it lasts.
Yeah.
And Leitner nearly round on the exit of the hairpin as well. He just about gathers it under control. Leitner pushing his luck as well. It looks like Chris Butcher's gapped him fairly substantially actually after their battle. So Butcher looks like he's got the pace, and Strauss will be all over the back of Leitner very soon.
Well, the other thing that's happened too is that, you know, with all this heavy racing right now, the tires wear 7% per lap when you're not pushing that hard. So to watch stuff like that go on, you know that these guys are killing their tires, killing them.
Absolutely. When you're pushing that hard, you're just using up as much tire as you can really, just to try and get the grip. Well, Talbot's time as he crosses the line of 53.363. And Dave Light in second position does a 53.4, so the gap between them last lap has come down by 0.2 of a second, so it looks like Dave Light just about creeping in onto the lead of Jesper Talbot, so perhaps we'll see a battle a little bit later on.
Yeah, after we get some pit stops, get the cars refueled, definitely get some new tires. It does look like Buchacho is closing in a little bit on Thomas Matuszewski. He's closing just a little bit here and there, but there was a couple mistakes I've witnessed on my screen by Thomas that has led to Chris closing in a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those midfield battles throughout the season. Oh, and Butcher's wide onto the grass. Can he recover that one? Yes, he can. It's so easy to put a wheel on the gravel there and go straight into the barrier. I found that out when I was able to test one of these cars. Butcher is going into the gravel now. Butcher into the gravel, just about keeps it gathered up. Chris has lost his head a little bit here, and through goes Leitner. So Butcher has it all to do again to take Leitner.
And now he has Florian Strauss in his rearview mirror, who is definitely someone who's on a mission. Oh, we could see some more fireworks here.
Strauss clearly quite hot-headed at the moment, and he's caught right up to Butcher as a result of those mistakes, and Butcher has got some work to do to overtake Leitner once again as they head through the spring curve.
And what we saw with between Butchie and Leitner was no lightweight bout. That was phenomenal racing between those two. Now you got Florian closing in. I don't even know if I can watch. I might have to leave. I'll watch the replay.
We'll come back on that battle in a minute. Let's just cycle through the field. So Johnson is in 9th position. There he is. Ben Tusting is behind him in the Mercedes after that battle indeed, and gaining on Johnson actually, so that one's one to watch in the next couple of laps as well. Robin Musgrove in 11th position with Yari Venari closing in on him, and Alexis Capano and Bernison having a good battle here as well over the final position, and it looks like Capano's going around the outside as they head towards the 130R. Bernison on the inside, and Bernison looking to hold his ground. There's contact between the two. Capano is very wide indeed. Is he going to be able to rejoin the track? Yes, he is, but he rejoins behind Bernison. Oh, and now he's outbraked himself and gone to the grass. Just about gets it gathered up. But those two obviously having a ding-dong battle over the final few positions. And that's Łukasz Demelin as well. It seems to have hit the wall. Let's see if we can catch that. And I don't think we're going to be able to here.
Yeah, it might have happened a little while ago.
Yeah, it's happened a little while ago, I believe.
I'm back with the Butchie battle with Leitner. He is right on his bumper, and he's not waiting. He's a little hot-headed right now too.
Yeah, Butchie, one of our TPS stalwarts, is directly behind Norbert Leitner here, and he's looking for a way past. There's two Audis here.
Locks it up.
Oh, Butchie nearly into the back of him there, and he's got Strauss all over the back of him, and he's going to be right on the back of these two and battling with them very shortly indeed.
Do not leave your screens, people. This is going to be good. Wow.
It looks like Leitner in 5th position, Strauss in 7th with Butcher, the meat in the sandwich, and he's in 6th position. and Butcher looks like he's close enough to have a run into 130R this time round. So let's have a look what that looks like on board with Chris Butcher, and he's going on the outside. Leitner goes defensive very late indeed, and this is going to be very tight indeed, I think. Oh, Butcher goes around the outside. Butcher around the outside. He's wide. He's going to rejoin, and Strauss is round. Strauss is round and into the barrier. Just about gets away with it with a glancing blow. That was huge amounts of luck for him, and Butcher remains behind Leitner. But wow, Strauss so nearly totals his car there, and let's see what that looks like. So he was following the battle. Oh, it's a wheel on the grass. Just about avoids a huge incident there. It didn't. No, yeah, he didn't lose hardly any time. So very lucky indeed for him.
And you know what's funny in all of this? The guy who's just kind of keeping his car together, not getting into anything, is David Jones. He's driving like I haven't seen him get sideways, kick a wall. He reminds me of Steve Davis in the WTM. Just as I say that, he gets loose.
No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, that'll be because of the tyres and getting towards where people are starting to think about getting new tyres. Sort of in 10 minutes' time, they'll be getting new tyres. But yeah, David Youngs is one of those very consistent drivers. He's been quietly getting good results in the WSS. I've been very impressed with him actually, and he's not one of the people who feature on our highlights videos all too often, but he is indeed one of those who does get good results. We see Butcher locking up into the hairpin. Go on, Keith.
Well, I was just going to say, one thing I've kind of stuck under the radar here is I've noticed Jack Heatley's pace has dropped, not significantly, but enough that it's noticeable that Thomas Mataseski is actually closing on the potential championship winner here. Peter has gapped him to 5.4 seconds. Thomas is slowly edged up and is now within 2 seconds. The gap dropped, picked up half a second that last lap on Jack Heatley. So that's very, very substantial. So maybe Jack's not pushing quite as hard. He doesn't want to have an off. He knows his tires are going off a little bit, and he's just preventing any, doing a little bit of damage control. Butchie's trying on the outside of the hairpin, and he can't make it happen without Florian right on his bumper. Right on his bumper.
I have no idea what button I've pressed, but we'll focus on the battle as Butcher is defending from Strauss as they head down the pit straight.
And a fastest lap for Jesper.
Wow, where did that come from?
Does it know his tires are supposed to be going off?
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Testing in the pits?
Testing in the pits, so he's obviously going for a two-stop strategy here. Trying to figure out a way to get rid of this.
Give me 1 second, I think I know what it is. Oh no, sorry, I apologize. I hit a button that shows the fastest lap of the race. Trying to sort out what button it is. This is... I'll just follow along with the action. I'll see if I can get this mixed up here.
Go for it. Chris Butcher in behind Norbert Leitner with Strauss all over the back of him. Is going to be having to defend from Strauss very shortly. We've seen that Strauss has had some very good pace indeed, and Butcher obviously not wanting to give up his position too easily. As we look back at Strauss on board with Chris Butcher. And Strauss looking for a way past as they head towards 130R, but Butcher defending very well indeed. And there's lots of pit stops going on, so obviously people have been looking at the two-stop strategy, and Butcher looked like he had a bit of contact there from Strauss, to be honest, and Butcher rejoins right behind the German, and I wonder if there was any contact at all. Dabelar into the pits, by the way.
They're both Jesper and Dabelar have just pitted. Dabelar's pit was almost half the time with Jesper, so I'm wondering if maybe he messed up on getting his fuel. Because I know there was this...
Yeah, look, they've come out very close indeed, but Dabelar with the net lead, so now Keithley, it depends what strategy Keithley's on. If he's on a one-stop strategy, then he might make this one work, but it's difficult to tell.
Alright, I'm just toying around with this here, just trying to figure out what... Okay, well there's the gap between Keithley
Oh, that'll do. How did you do that?
I hit the letter G.
Okay.
I think we can stick with that for the moment.
Strauss has looked like he's got ahead of Chris Butcher somehow. So how has this happened?
That would have been when he had that off there.
Oh yes, of course. And Butcher's obviously dropped back a fair distance.
And David Junt is now, it looks like where did Junt go? He must have had a little bit of an off himself.
Yeah, the gap was 0.3 of a second. It definitely isn't 0.3 of a second now, is it?
No, it is not. And it looks like with Duivelar now ahead of Jesper Talborg. I wonder what may have happened in the pits for him to go. Jesper did a 9.3 second pit stop, and Duivelar did a 4.2 second pit stop. So I'm wondering where the variance is between the two of them, and they can see Keithley in the distance.
So we're looking at Talborg as he closes down Peter Duivelar, looking to get the lead back from the youngster.
Yes, Jesper is the ice man, and Keithley's into the pits. He's into the pits. Our potential championship winner is into the pits.
Right, so Keithley comes out now, and it's a fairly high speed limit as they head down the pit lane, but he is behind Talborg and Peter Duivelar.
I'm going to say that Jesper made an error in his pit stop because Keithley's pit stop was 5.1 seconds. See, Florian's pit stop's 8.5, whereas Florian and Jesper's pit stops were very close. It looks like other people are doing shorter pit stops. What do you think then the differences could be?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, you'd always take tyres. That's the first thing you take in these cars.
Yeah. So do you think is it they're going with lighter fuel for a second for their second stint? Is that what you think could be happening?
It's possible. It could. I don't know. It's you wouldn't do a first pit stop now and then run to the end of the race. I don't even think that's possible.
No, it's not possible. Not with the tires going off at 7%. And Leitner is actually looking to pass Keithley, the championship leader. Oh my goodness! Where did this come? Where did that happen?
This is a battle over the lead that we're following now, though, and Talbot all over the back of Duivelar.
No, I seen Keithley and I saw a car almost make contact, so it could have been championship changing there.
I'd love to know how to get rid of those annoying numbers. But, there we go. And Talbot's still all over the back of Duivelar here.
Oh, look at that! He's so quick through there.
Keithley obviously has been the victor of that small battle between himself and Leitner. Leitner obviously with the older tyres, as is Chris Butcher. Strauss has come into the pits and come out again. Oh, maybe Butcher has pitted. I think Butcher has pitted.
Oh, look at Jesper again.
New fastest lap.
James Johnson has pitted. So James is actually...
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Talbot's got ahead of Duivelar as they head into the final chicane. Just Duivelar outbrakes himself, bumps over the curbs, trying to rejoin the track, and loses a lot of time to Talbot. I was looking forward to that battle.
I was too. Well, one thing I should mention is that our man James Johnson, who had a small off in the first lap, is now running in rotation in 6th after his pit stop with Florian Strauss closing in on him. So I bet you will see some fireworks there.
Yeah, indeed. Chris Butcher is in the pits again. Is that again or for the first time? David Junt around, look, as they head through the Casio Triangle. That's Ben Tusting all over the back of him now as a result.
Oh.
Very close indeed between those two.
Spoke a little too soon about David's consistency. He's still got half an hour to go here in this race. So
yeah.
I mean, it seems that everyone's had a little bit of an incident. The only guy I don't think we've seen making off yet is Jesper on his own.
Yeah, we're looking at Benari, who's behind Ben Tusting in 10th position.
So 15 seconds back.
Yeah. What else have we got going on? It's Duivelar has not been, Talbot hasn't exactly extended his lead too quickly over Duivelar in the middle stages of this race, and Duivelar's still there and thereabouts.
Well, Peter Duivelar's fastest time is at 1:53.0. which is half a second slower than Jesper's quickest time. And Jesper seems to be on a mission here to keep putting in fast laps. Fresh tires. Wanton knows he needs the race win regardless for any chance at the championship, no matter what else happens behind him. He already scored his 5 bonus points, fastest lap so far, and the pole position as well. So he's looking to maximize. If he can get the win, he'll have a perfect race, and it's wherever the cards fall, that's where the cards lie.
Well, at the moment, Mataszewski is closest to Jack Keithley, who is doing exactly all he needs to take the title in 3rd position.
Yes, exactly.
So Mataszewski the closest, and we look at Leitner and James Johnson who are battling, and Johnson on the inside now through the second part of the triangle, and they've run side by side through there. I didn't think that was possible, but they managed it there. So excellent driving between the two, and Johnson all over the back of Norbert Leitner as they head down the pit straight and head towards turn 1. And Johnson's going through on the inside. He hasn't quite got the run on Leitner, it doesn't look like, and it's a very small braking zone. So Johnson brakes earlier and thinks better of it. He's better off following Leitner through than making a rash dive into turn 1. And yeah, indeed, Johnson looking like he wants to make it through past Leitner at the earliest opportunity, just a tenth of a second between them as they cross the start finish line that time round.
I'm going to say we're probably, it looks like we're in replay mode here, because Johnson has just made it by.
How did that happen? But yes, Johnson has indeed made it by Leitner. Let's go back into replay mode and see how that happened.
Yeah.
So look at that, their car going across the bridge as they go underneath. That's an excellent shot. But Johnson going around the outside of Leitner at the hairpin. That's an excellent move, that indeed. And takes the position away on the exit under traction. Excellent there from Johnson. Great move. It's a shame we didn't quite see it live.
And it looks like, I just happened to hop on board with Florian Strauss. It looks like he's struggling because he just went wide for no apparent reason, and David Junt made short work and he just went by like he was standing still.
Yeah, I wonder, has Strauss pitted?
Yes,
do we think? Oh, okay. So
yes, he has pitted. He just lost the position. He's struggling. It looks like with overall grip. Maybe he's got some suspension damage, possibly a flat.
Could be. Or as Junt runs wide as they head through the triangle. No, that'll put Strauss all over the back of him. Strauss actually has a much better XP. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than it was, but Strauss takes that position away.
Yeah, and in the background, who do you have? You have Ben Tusting closing in, and they've already exchanged niceties today, Florian and Ben. So could we possibly see round 2?
Let's have a look. I mean, Ben Tusting is what, 1.7 seconds behind. By the way, I fixed the thing with help from our normal TouringProSeries commentator Ryan Callan. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Callan. We don't know what we're doing.
Well, we roughly do.
Yeah,
we have a vague idea. I'm towards the front. Look at this. Dave are 1 second away from Jesper. Go on. Sorry. Oh, and look, Talbot's run wide. Let's follow this through. Go on, Keith. Get it in quickly.
No, that's the first time we've seen Jesper make any type of slip up here. But it looked Norbert Leitner, I guess, had not pitted because he just went in, or Zazzato, and he was in for. Yeah, he was in for his first pit stop because he was in the midst of all the battling that was going on there.
So bearing in mind he doesn't have to make another pit stop today, he'll be able to go to the end of the race from there. It'll leave him vulnerable in the later laps, but it might be better than the 2-stop. It's difficult to say at this point. He's 45 seconds or so behind the leaders, so it'll be difficult to see him making up much ground on them. And Davila, just a second behind Talbot. In fact, Talbot pulled away after his mistake, so that was not quite as exciting as I was hoping. Strauss and Junt are still very close indeed as they head through the 130R, almost flat out, running wide onto the rumble strips, using as much track as he can. And Junt's very late on the brakes indeed there, manages to get it stopped in time.
Yeah, he almost went around there. Florian's on a bit of a mission. I think he's trying to hunt down James Johnson now, who's almost full straightaway ahead. But
what is that, 7 seconds between them?
Yeah, it's about 7 seconds.
Yeah, so Strauss will be looking to catch that up as soon as he can. We'll monitor that gap closely and see whether it changes too much.
and the gap's down to 0.9 from Dweevelar to Jesper. Dweevelar has not given up. He just did a 150. His last lap was a 153.3, whereas Jesper's was a 153.6. But Dweevelar has put down a 52.789. So Dweevelar's he's not giving this away. He's chasing him down. That 15 euros is calling.
Yeah, it's you know, Dweevelar has got Talbot in his sights, and it looks like a lot closer than 0.9 as they come towards the second sector timing beacon. 0.6, look at that, it's made 3 tenths up in the middle sector alone, and he's going right on the back of Talbot. He will be in the slipstream as well, so Talbot will be able to drag him along, and this one heating up very nicely indeed. Which we just scroll through the time screen at the bottom of your screen. Chris Butcher in 10th position, and Venari in 11th. They're quite close together as well. And Leitner and Butcher looking like they're going to have a ding-dong battle or resume it from earlier.
Yeah, round 2, round 3.
Yeah. With Musgrove, Burnton, Capano, as we've just seen Capano being lapped by the leaders on screen, and Łukasz Demlin rounding up the field. And yeah, Dweevelar right onto the back of Talbot. It looks like Dweevelar is the racer of the two, and they're on the same strategy as well, Keith.
Yes, they are. So this is just a flatter race, but I'm still a little curious where the time was lost. Oh, look at this in the pits, because it was a 5-second loss in the pits for Jesper, and I'm curious to find out from him what exactly happened. If he made a mistake, if he missed a stall, or what happened. Like, it's mind-boggling at this point.
Yeah, it's a very strange one indeed, and maybe we'll find out after the race. Hopefully, one or two of the drivers will drop by for an interview.
Yeah, I've already told them they have to. It's mandatory.
Oh, okay. Good to have you with us, Keith.
Yeah. No, it looks like these two guys have endless amounts of experience. So you know, if you're going to see a pass, I don't think we're going to see any of this, any serious contact. I think it's going to be a very precision move by Dweevelar if he's able to make one. But
here we go. Here we go in the slipstream. Here comes Dweevelar. He's going up the inside as they head into the 130R. They're alongside, side by side. He's going up the inside. Talbot onto the grass. And Talbot bumping around the grass, he's still alongside. Talbot goes through on the inside into the Casio triangle, and Dweevelar back behind him in second place. Excellent defensive work there from Talbot.
He's got a good gap to him for this straightaway here. He could get the run and to make that move into the inside.
He could do it. It's a very short. I know, it's a very short braking zone. Here comes Dweevelar. Here he comes once again. He goes up the inside. It's a very short braking zone. They're side by side again, nearly contact. And Talbot sweeps around the outside. There must have been millimetres between the cars, and Talbot just about survived in first position. Wow, that's just insane.
There's a lot of wow moments here going on. This high speed side by side through basically flat out corners is just amazing to watch. Chris Butcher has lost his whole front end.
Oh wow, what's Butcher been doing?
Are we in replay mode there?
No, it's just updating the car. It looks like he's got a puncture, to be honest with you. Oh no, Butcher, here he goes round into the wall. Huge impact with the wall, and he has definitely got a puncture. If he didn't have one before, he's definitely got one now. No, what's happened, Keith? Look, he's got no rear wing. He'll have no rear downforce, that's why. And I don't think he realised that. And as he heads into the Casio triangle gingerly, not wanting to turn in, just gives up on the whole corner.
He's not feeling very macho right now.
I don't. And Butcher comes into the pit lane, and wow,
that's a shame. And back at
look at the front of his car.
Back at the front, Dweevelar's having another look.
Here we go. So we're looking at Jesper Talbot, and Dweevelar directly behind him, and he's looking for a way through. So where do you think the best place to overtake for Dweevelar? Where do you think the best place is?
Dweevelar's into the pits.
Dweevelar into the pits with 25 minutes to go. I suppose that makes sense. He just wants to get onto those new tyres, maybe use the undercut.
But the thing is their lap times were not all that far off. But I guess he's
maybe he did. Remember you were saying that he jumped him at the pits. It looked a bit weird. short fuel. He was obviously was on short fuel look, because their fueling does take a long time in the WSS.
That's because I noticed that some guys' pits were shorter than others, and I figured there had to be a misstep on his part for his overall pit stop. Well, that's a shame. He ended up. That's a real big shame, because that was looking like it was going to be a great battle.
Well, of course, Dave Lar is now going to be able to set fastest laps, or very quick laps indeed, on the fresh rubber, and Taubog will be on older rubber, so Taubog will need to pit as soon as he can, really.
Well, his pit stop just now was only 1.7 seconds, so what, did he take a splash, or did he just take tires?
1.7?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it looked like a 1.7 on the viewer screen here.
Huh. No, that's very strange. That sounds like almost like a drive-through penalty. Oh, a stop-go or something. I don't know. That's very, very weird. I hope the timings are messed up with that, because otherwise it would make no sense for him to stop and carry on. Splash of fuel is all I can think about, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But he pitted on what, lap 13?
I think in and around 13, yeah. No, even around 12, 13 is when all of the guys pitted.
Yeah, so he's not going to be able to make it to the end from there, I don't think.
Well, I guess we'll find out, because with 23 minutes left, I mean, if you're short on fuel, you'll know fairly soon, and you'll probably want to get in. But I don't think he would have taken tires there if the pit stop was that short. It did look like it on my screen. Ooh, and Matuszewski nearly loses it. Yeah,
he was on the dirt there and kept his foot in it as well. From very brave from Matuszewski there, and manages to retain control on the exit of the spoon curve. And he comes through 130. Yeah, very wide indeed onto the grass. They're all pushing their luck through there, and obviously it's the quickest way around the track. But
let's see, where do we have now? Jack Keithley is closing on Duivelaar. He's within 4 seconds now. And
is he lapping quicker though? I mean, Dave Lar's obviously just come out of the pits, so we'll have cold tyres.
Keithley's last lap was a 55.8, so it's hard to say.
Dave Lar obviously just come out of the pits on an out lap, so
yeah,
we'll be able to see this time round.
Yeah, so I was hoping. Oh, James Johnson through turn 2 is off. He's driven off the track on his own, which is going to allow Florian Strauss to get right onto him.
Strauss is nearly. I think Johnson got away with that one a little bit. Let's have a look on the replay.
I pulled that back on Johnson there.
Yeah, let's have a look.
He just went deep into turn 1, got out into the grass, and there's no saving it from there.
No, look at that, sideways across the curb and onto the grass, and just about keeps it out of the barrier. Actually, he was manages to use the momentum of the gravel quite well. He probably only lost a few seconds there, so good driving in the end from Johnson.
Definitely.
Keep that one out of the wall. But indeed, that puts Strauss right into the back of him, and David Yunt still not that far behind as he kicks up some dirt on the unused AstroTurf there. And Ben Tusting as well is coming through the Daimler, so they're all relatively close on track. And you've got quite a big gap from Leitner to Jari Vanari, and Butcher obviously now he may well have retired. That's Verneson and Musgrove. There is Chris Butcher. No, he's still lapping. Very slowly indeed as he goes onto the grass, wheel onto the grass, and Butcher looks like he's got a very damaged car indeed.
And yet Jesper's pitted. He did a 6.4 second pit stop. So where is this going to put? Duivelaar's taken the lead. Jesper in behind.
Duivelaar's taken the lead. Oh yeah, absolutely. So Duivelaar, his faster laps while on fresh rubber has put him out in front of Jesper Taubog, and Taubog now has it all to do, and Keithley in the pits as well, so that puts Matuszewski ahead of him as Keithley comes out now.
So again, Jesper lost another 2 point something seconds to Keithley in the pits. He did a 4.5 second stop where Jesper did a 6.3, so 1.8 seconds. I'd really like to pick Jesper's brain as to what's going on. Maybe I'm not sure. I can't think of what it would be.
Well, look, the gap is what, 2.1 seconds now, so neither of them have to stop again, and Taubog's tyres will be a little bit quicker as he gets towards the end of the race than Duivelaar's, because Duivelaar's done a couple of extra laps on his. So
yes,
I still fancy Jesper. You know, I think Jesper's done the fastest lap in this race. He was easily on pole. Well, he was on pole. He wasn't easy at all.
So with the stops, Tomasz Mataszewski has taken third, but he will need to pit again unless he's on a one-stop strategy.
I believe he was one of the earlier stoppers as well. Let's have a look. See when exactly he pitted.
Struggling. He's struggling with his tires already.
Yeah, he pitted on lap 12 as well, so he's going to have to make another pit stop, I believe, before the end of the race.
Yeah, so as this pit-off cycle, we're going to see where people are going to sit for this final stint here. As long as everyone's made sure their fuel's topped up, this should be the final stops for everybody.
We'll keep an eye on these gaps as they head through the field. And Mataszewski lapping Capano. Butchie once again another off.
Yeah, just another off. He ended up spun around in a circle and no damage, just parked on the side of the road. He might have been stopping for a picnic.
What I like about Butch's car is the lack of suspension by the wheels. It's just he's damaged it so much that they've just stuck wheels on and said, well, have a go with that, my friend.
Yeah, give that a go. And Mataszewski is into the pits for what should be his final stop. Keithley regains third position. And Dweevil are still 1.9 ahead. So the gap is closing, but not at a phenomenal rate. Strauss is into the pits in fifth. Junt is in. Everyone's in for their last stops, it looks like now.
Yeah, here comes Junt down the pit lane. And as you say, following Strauss there ahead of him. They were battling earlier on. And Strauss gets out well ahead of Junt.
With these pit stops, everyone seems to be in around the 4.5 seconds on Norbert Leitner taking Strauss, and I think that Leitner can go to the end. Remember we were talking about that. I think he's the only guy who can go to the end.
So I believe that's correct. Yeah, he pitted I think on about lap 16, 15, 16.
It was 30 minutes to go, I think, or just
yeah,
around
it's 30, 32 or something, isn't it? Yeah, so Leitner definitely able to go to the end of the race from this point. So
this should be interesting.
Look how much more pace Strauss has got on that fresh rubber. I know he's got a more damaged Audi after hitting the wall once or twice, but he's definitely in with a shout of getting back past Leitner.
Yes,
and Ben Tusting look isn't all that far behind either. So and Tusting's round! Tusting on the grass! Excellent car control! Excellent car control! 360 spin, look at the tyre smoke he's left. But and he's gone over the undercut as well, but Tusting really didn't lose too much time there either, so he's been in the walls today but hasn't really had too much damage.
It looks like Strauss is going to
oh, look at this!
Yeah,
he's 1.1 behind Davilar now, and Jesper closing in with every lap. It almost looks inevitable, but this time we will see a monumental battle.
Yes, for sure.
We were hoping for
give it up.
Exactly. We were hoping for one earlier in the race, and we didn't quite see one. Strauss is all over the back of Leitner.
He is. He's right on the back of the slipstream.
Here we go. Strauss on the inside into 130R. He thinks better of that one. Just about pulls out in time, but Leitner now defensive into the Casio triangle. Strauss going round the outside. Leitner looks like he's got the better. Got the better break. Strauss is round. Strauss is round. He loses the back end of his car. And that's not the first time we've seen him do that this race, is it? In the exact same corner.
He's having a seesaw race here. It's like he charges, and then he a small little mistake, and it's right back to ground zero. 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, 2 back.
It must have a very stiffly sprung rear end on that Audi, because it just doesn't seem to be able to take the curbs like some of the leaders, and he nearly runs wide onto the gravel as well through turn 2.
And he's on fresh rubber too.
Yeah, he's got fresh rubber. He was definitely the one I was looking to get ahead of. Leitner, look at him sideways everywhere. So he must have a very stiffly sprung rear end on that car. It's the only way I can think.
I had mentioned earlier, I thought he might have had a puncture. He may have damaged his left rear. His car squatted down in the left rear.
Yeah,
look at the battle.
Yeah, that is a possibility. Here we go though. Talborg on Davilar. Let's have a look back from Davilar, looking at the snarling Audi of Jesper Talborg as he comes up right behind him.
The Iceman coming.
And he's in a sort of silver Iceman colourish car as well, so it's very, very appropriate livery for him. And here comes Davilar, and the gap will be less than a second as they cross the line. And what is it? What is the gap? 0.3 of a second. Wow. So 0.339 as they cross the line.
Wow.
Jesper did a very good lap then, indeed.
He did a 52.8 while chasing him down.
Just 4/10 slower than his fastest lap. So
yep.
Butcher, by the way, has retired from the race. which I suppose was relatively inevitable.
Well, he didn't have much of a car left, so I don't blame him.
There is Butcher. It looks like his car's been repaired in the pit lane, which is a shame. I was hoping to see how much damage he managed to cause. But here we go, back to the leaders. And David is just about ahead of Jesper Talborg as they head through the Degners and through the second part of the right-handers. You can run wide onto that Astra turn, it's perfectly legitimate. And neither of them choosing to do so. And Talborg really just biding his time here. Look at the line that David had to take through there just to get the car turned in. Alexis Capano in the pit lane, but we'll follow the leaders.
Yeah, just on a side note, we'll follow the leaders, but Florian Strauss has caught back up the light there. Oh, seesaw day for Florian for sure.
Yeah, we'll look at that one.
We'll follow these leaders here.
We'll follow the leaders, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Capano comes out of the pit lane. And here comes Talborg, look, as he comes up down the back straight. He's got the run. He's not going to be able to make a move into 130R, but he just needs to get it through 130R. There's not too much loss of downforce as you're following another car. David Lars run a little bit wide onto the curb. Here comes Talborg around the outside as they head into the Casio triangle, and he's going to look for the cutback here as they head down the pit straight and maybe make a move into turn 1. And David Lars
in a good spot right now.
David Lars is under huge pressure here from Jesper Talborg.
Oh, look at this slipstream.
Oh, he's going to go around the outside here, and David Lars covers and brakes a little bit later. Excellent driving from the two of them, and Talborg no way through there for the Dane. They were side by side down the pit straight once again, and how many times have we said that? Leitner and Strauss very close together as well. It's all heating up suddenly. Here is the Strauss and Leitner battle, and Strauss is now going to be right behind Norbert Leitner as they head down the back straight, and here comes Strauss, and Leitner's got to worry here. He's going to be looking in his mirrors for Florian to come through. And we look back from Leitner. No, he's just about held it onto the curb. You don't want to be onto the curb. Here comes Strauss! Strauss through on the inside into the Casio triangle. A late dive. Excellent move from Strauss. A little bit of a hip and shoulders on the way out, but Strauss just about makes that move stick and takes it away from Leitner. Leitner will be in his slipstream. There's a bit of smoke going on there. They head through the final couple of corners.
Suspended, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it could well be. Leitner back on the inside. Here comes Leitner. No. Strauss sweeps around the outside, and we're going to go back with the leaders because they're still at it, hammer and tongs. And Jack Keithley as well is in a race of his own, so I don't think Maciejewski will be able to catch him. So it's all about whether Talborg can take Dabelar and whether he can make it a pole, fastest lap and a win, which is currently what he's on for. And he's coming up the inside towards 130. Yeah, he's right behind Dabelar, right in the slipstream. There's no way through here. Dabelar brakes on the inside, Talborg on the outside once again. And Talborg once again going to look for the cutback as they head down the pit straight.
I've raised enough with Jesper that I know that he knows his car's quicker. He doesn't need to force a pass yet. It's too early. Like you can see, he had the run to pull up and probably get overlapped there, but he's not going to do it unless it's an absolute guaranteed. I'm going to get by with no contact, no issues. So he's just biding his time here. It's just something that's why he's got the name Iceman. Is he knows exactly what he's up to, and he knows what he's doing right now.
Just 0.1 seconds between the two leaders after 50 minutes of racing almost. And
it's amazing. And you know what? Like this position, I've been in Dweebelar's position with Jesper behind me. I can't even count how many times, and it's awful because you know he's faster. And you know he's just waiting for that one little slip up, and he's not going to make a mistake behind you. That's just not Jesper.
He's not. It doesn't look like he's ever going to make a mistake, to be honest with you. And Talborg is right on board with him. He's using more and more of the track now, desperately trying to keep up with David. I think Talborg's tyres are dropping off just a little bit as that Łukasz Demelin in the foreground loses control of the rear of his Audi as he heads through the hairpin. It's a nice bright pink car. You would like it very much indeed, I think. See if we can find it. There it is.
And it's got no hood. I guess.
He's sensibly letting the leaders through there. And let's go back with the leaders. And look at this, Dabelar under huge pressure from Talborg now. Looking back from Dabelar as we look at Jesper Talborg, who's in the slipstream, and look at him gaining in a straight line. And Talborg might have a jink. He's looking into the 130R. That was just to put David R off, is more than anything.
And is what he's doing.
Here comes Talbot around the outside, but we've seen David R just driving the inside line through there and covering his line and being able to defend. So it's going to be all about whether
right down the
whether
inside
Jesper can do anything here. Yeah, right down the inside of the pit straight. And Talbot once again in the slipstream. He's much closer than he was last time round. He's going around the outside. He hasn't got enough momentum though, look, to make that one stick, because they head into turn one.
Might be running more wing than Davillard, possibly.
Yeah, possibly, absolutely. I mean, we haven't seen Davillard too sideways, but it's one of those things. And there's different gear ratios you can use as well.
Yeah.
That make perfect sense in the top speed. You can use different ones to make yourself quicker in a straight line or get better drive out of the corners. And certainly, I know people have the qualifying gear ratio and a race gear ratio at A1 room, so that's how close the ratios are to being correct. But anyway, Talbot still behind Davillard, and this is the closest battle on the field, apart from Benari and Bernison. Let's have a quick look at that. So here they are, Bernison directly behind Yari Benari, and this is a battle over 10th and 11th positions, and Bernison looking like he wants to take the position away from Benari there.
Gaps opened up a little bit up in front. We're talking now up to 2-3 seconds. But yeah, it's pretty well.
I was just saying, what else have we got going on? We've got the two leaders running wide. That's what we've got going on. And Talbot once again in the slipstream. I don't think he's going to make a move, you know, Keith. He's just going to bide his time and wait for Davillard to make a mistake, although he's in the slipstream here. Very good slipstream there as they head into 130R, and Davillard's a little bit wide. Here comes Talbot. He's on the inside. He's on the outside, in fact, as they head through the Casio triangle, and Davillard's run a little bit wider than he has done before. And look how close Talbot is now. And what do you reckon, Keith? Send one around the outside?
I don't think he can do it. Oh, he's trying to squeeze it down the wall.
Oh, there's no way through there. Davillard.
Yeah,
he's still no room at all.
It's either his wing or his gear ratio, because he doesn't have the straight line speed to get by Davillard.
He just doesn't at the moment, does he?
So he's going to need a mistake, or he's going to have to force the issue.
He's going to have to send one up the inside into the hairpin or something.
Yeah,
somewhere unexpected.
And but Davillard knows how to defend, and he's shown that here. Like he's literally on full defensive. Their lap times right now, bumper to bumper, are like in the low 154s. And when they were running together earlier with no defensive line, they were in the low 153s. So they're dropped to like a second, 1.2 seconds off, because Davillard's on 100% defensive.
I'll tell you what, Keith, this is going to be interesting. We've got the leaders coming up on a fierce battle between Benari and Morten Bernison. And look at that, they're going to be fighting for track position in a minute, and this could be very interesting indeed. So Benari all over the back of Bernison in front of the two leaders, and it's Davillard ahead of Jesper Talbot at the minute, but it's all going to be about whether Talbot can get by.
Yari gives him room.
Yeah, Yari gives them room, but they've still got to get through Bernison. And Bernison will probably do it on the pit straight, on the main straight, so it won't affect them too much. Go back to a nice on board view. Here we go. So Bernison, if he's got his sensible head on, we'll let them both through here. He's giving Davillard a nice draft as well. So Bernison will not want to lose his position to Yari, but Yari's dropped back a significant distance. So that, I believe that was one of Talbot's chances. He's going around the outside into the Casio triangle, but there's no way through there, as we've seen before. And Davillard just needs to drive up the inside of the pit wall, and he'll be absolutely fine. So it's going to be tough to see where Talbot, although Talbot's on the inside now, Talbot nearly getting the overlap, but Davillard's just got the better straight line speed, and as soon as Talbot pulls out of the slipstream, Talbot, wow, it's jinking back and forth all over the back of Davillard's Audi, and trying to put him off.
Remember, Davillard is on older tires. Oh look! Oh my gosh! What is going to happen here? Davillard's on, I think, two lap older tires. So
nearly into the back of him. We need to calm down here. Go on, Keith.
Well, we could. I think Jesper knows that, and he's waiting to take advantage of the extra 2 laps. He's inside.
He's got to run. He's got to run. He's going to be on the outside. There's contact between the two as they do the first 10 and 10. Talbot got the inside. Here we go. Talbot bumps across the curb. No. Davis sticks him around the outside and retains the lead. And Talbot so close to getting into the side of Davis there. And Talbot just about gets away with that one as well. And here he comes, he's on the cut back. No! Davis wants to get around the outside. Wow, what great racing between these two. Just unbelievably close. We've got to remind everyone that Keith Lee is the, as it stands, is going to be championship winner. And
as long as he holds on to his position,
yeah,
he's in a race of his own, pretty much.
He's in a safe third position there, but he's 26 seconds behind the leaders, and absolutely under no threat from anyone behind him. But
Jesper,
look at Jesper, here we go. Jesper on the inside, and he's got a big overlap this time as he heads towards on the inside. Davis still sweeping around the outside, Davis on the grass. Davis gets a twitch on. Here we go, Talbot on the outside, he's got to sweep in first into the Casio triangle. No! Davis takes the position back. And these two battling hard. Here comes Talbot once again as they head down the pit straight, directly in behind Davis. Which way is he going to go this time? Talbot's been messing with his head so far. As you rightly said, Keith, he's going on the outside. I don't think there's any way through there. Davis just going to brake later now and sweeps in front of Talbot. But Talbot's getting a little bit more desperate now, wouldn't you say, Keith?
Well, yeah, it's coming to crunch time here, and I mean, you know, really, this is, we got to remind everyone, Davis has not been racing this whole season. He's a guest driver in this, although not a new guy to the front row. So this is a battle to the end here. Davis is racing as a guest driver, and if he wins this race, he will get an extra 15 euros for his performance here as a guest driver.
Of course, as will Jesper Talbot get 15 euros for winning the race. So they're both racing for something here.
Yes, they are.
And it adds a little bit of spice to the action. I know 15 euros isn't a great deal of money, but it is to some people in the sim racing world.
For one race, you know, I mean, it was not an hour's worth of work, $15 an hour.
Exactly.
That's a good paying job.
Yes, it is indeed, and that's Alexis Capano letting the leaders through, and Talbot, look how much he wants this. You can just tell from the way he's driving that he wants to get past Davis, wants to assert his authority. And these two, of course, have raced before in the WTM, very close together there as well.
They've also run in the STC quite a bit regularly together, and they've been in this exact same position before. And I think Jesper's got the better of him more times than Davis has him. Oh, look!
So it's a one-upmanship. Here comes Talbot on the inside once again.
Not quite close enough. This is just phenomenal.
Every lap there, the slipstream's just giving Talbot just enough of a slipstream to get in alongside Davis, but it's not quite enough. He needs a little bit more, and he's desperate. Look at him trying to get the inside line as they head down the pit straight. And look, it's not quite close enough. He just needs to get in behind Davis and get a run going.
One move that he's not using that.
Oh, here we go on the outside. This is something he hasn't tried. That was a new one from Talbot. And instead of sitting behind Davis, he went round the outside. And there's going to be 2 laps of this race left. We crossed the line with about 2 minutes to go, so there'll be 2 laps left. So
for Jesper to figure this out. The one thing that I was saying he hasn't tried that I know he's got in his book of tricks is, rather than, if he's driving the inside, just stay on his bumper. Give Peter an extra 10 kilometers an hour into the first corner, back off real early, and see if he keeps it going.
Ben Tusting has got by Norbert Leitner for 7th position further back, and Strauss hasn't managed to catch up with James Johnson. He's cut the gap from 7 seconds to 4, but he hasn't managed to catch him up all the way. So Strauss in a solid 6th position, and further back we've got David Yunt driving quiet race to 9th position. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that, maybe made 1 or 2 mistakes off screen. And Bernstein in 10th, Benari 11th, Musgrove 12th, Capano 13th, and 14th for Demolin. Let's go back to the leaders, and here they come back through Spoon Curve and onto the back straight, Keith.
This is going to be a nail biter for this lap. They got 1 more lap after this, right?
I believe so. They've only got 40 seconds left to complete this lap, but I think there will be enough time for 1 more lap. Here comes Talbot. He has indeed got to run this time, and he's squeezing on the inside of Davis. Davis running very wide indeed. They both run wide. Talbot in behind Davis. It looks like there's nearly contact between the two. And once again, Davis manages to shuffle himself to the inside. And Talbot alongside this contact once again. And Talbot drops back just a little bit. 17, 16. Yeah, there's easily going to be another lap. So 1 more lap
Look at the run he's got here. This is where he can do it around the outside.
This is where he needs to have been further back. But this is the final lap, so he's running out of overtaking opportunities. He's going through on the inside. Here we go. Has he got an overlap? No, he hasn't. There's a left-hander coming up.
Final lap here.
Wow. So let's go on board with Talbog once again. He's diving all over the back. Nearly into the back of him. He's going around the outside. Here we go. No, Davilas shuts the door. Talbog gives him enough. Talbog gives him enough. And Talbog gets through. And just a little bit of contact there, but Talbog gets through. And it was just inevitable, really. Talbog's been trying to make a move every single lap, and now it's Davilas' turn. And Talbog just needs to keep his head and keep it on the road. And that extra 15 euros is his. And Davilas will get 15 euros anyway. But wow, Talbog on the final lap barges his way through. And quite a robust move, but he gets alongside and he makes it stick.
He was nice long enough. He went 15 minutes being nice. Davilar did give him a little bit of a shot outside, and then Jesper just returned the favor to clear himself a path. Amazing.
And it's not all over yet by any stretch of the imagination. If Talbog makes a slight error onto the back straight and Davilar gets within the slipstream, it looks like Davilar's pushing very hard indeed out of the spoon curve, and he is in the slipstream of Jesper Talbog, so it's whether or not he's got has he got enough? That's the big question.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting close enough to make anything happen here. He like Davilar's going to push right to the end, go real deep into the hairpin.
Here we go. No, it's not going to work, I don't think. And Talbog has the line, and he has the drive.
He could get a draft.
He could get a draft, but I think Talbog's going to come through first.
Well done.
And well done to Jesper Talbog, a pole position, a race win, a fastest lap. He did all he could today to take the championship off of Jack Keithley, but in the end it was not quite enough, because here comes Jack Keithley. He's in third position. He comes through 130R. He's won 4 races this season. He's been the deserved champion really all year, and he wins from Talbog with a healthy margin in the championship hunt. Doesn't win any money today, but he'll be very pleased with his championship performance, and he wins the first season of the World Supertech Series. An excellent result for him. Third position, final podium position for Jack Keithley, and he is our worthy winner of the championship.
Yes, well done Jack Keithley for a great season run. We'll see if we can get him to join us here on the commentator channel and express what he felt the season was like all around, and see if we can get even Peter to join us as well.
That would be excellent. I'd love to speak to both of those, and Jesper if we can. James Johnson comes through in 5th place. After Matuzewski has crossed line in 4th, Brian Strauss was in 6th position, and we're waiting for 7th place man Ben Tusting to come through. And here he comes now, so 7th goes to Ben Tusting. In 8th position is Norbert Leitner. He's had a good race. Eventually, David Yunt will come through in 9th position. 10th Bernison, 11th Fenari. These are all lapped people. Rob Musgrove in 12th, Capano in 13th, Łukasz Demlin in 14th position, and our retirees include just Chris Butcher. In fact, just Chris Butcher was our only retiree. So Chris Butcher, the final person in our field today, and that was an excellent race, Keith.
Oh, I mean that finish there. I'm going to need to watch this again so I can see. That move was incredible. What happened there? I mean, he literally threw everything at it but the kitchen sink, and he managed to pull it off. Getting by Peter is not easy at any time, but Jesper put in a good race. He was patient, and I think we're just joined here now by Peter, our guest driver.
Indeed, we are. Well done, Peter. An excellent showing in your first race in the World Supertech Series, and you managed to get 2nd position. It could have been 1st, very close indeed in the final few laps.
Yeah, it was really great race, really great battle, especially in the last stint with Jesper. I had such worn out tires, it was so hard to defend. Great battle.
It was indeed a great battle. It was nip and tuck. We were unsure about who was going to take it. Talbog was making a move almost every lap through 130R. And did you think he was going to take the position away from you, or were you confident?
I knew it was going to be very difficult, especially in the last lap. in all those laps before, he patiently waited until I made a mistake, but I knew that in the last lap he would try even harder to get that position, so I knew it was going to be hard, but it could have gone either way.
Well, congratulations on your second position, and that means you are the highest place of our new drivers, and that means you get the €15, and so congratulations to you, Peter.
Thank you very much, and also thanks to the staff for making this possible.
No problem whatsoever. So that was Peter Davis, our second place driver today. In first position though, with a pole position, a fastest lap, and the win was Jesper Talborg, and congratulations to our Iceman of the World Supertech
amazing race
of the Touring Pro Series. Congratulations, Jesper.
Thank you.
Did you think you were going to win this one all the way along? You certainly looked like you had the pace in qualifying.
The plan was actually just to finish the race and get second place in the championship.
You never thought you'd be able to get first position?
Nope.
Okay, fair enough. Well, congratulations, Jesper. You're going to be looking forward to the next WTM race, which is in 7 days' time. That's at where is it at? Virginia International Raceway. I'm racing in the series. You looking forward to that one, Jesper?
Yeah, I hope no one's drive me off then.
Okay, we'll leave controversy in that championship to that championship. There's also the V8 race on Saturday, so plenty of races coming up for you, Jesper. But the man I want to talk to is our championship winner, Jack Keithley, and a dominant performance so far in the World Supertech Series. 4 wins overall. Seems like you almost had a podium every single race, and a worthy championship. Worthy champion. Congratulations, Jack Keithley. Are you there, Jack?
Well done, Jack. He is here, but I don't know. You there, Jack?
Jack.
I don't know if you can hear this, but yeah, the season, it's been up and down season, but yeah, I'm very chuffed to win. I knew going to Suzuka would be very tough to win, or have a go to win the race, especially with Jesper and Peter racing, and looking for qualifying and warm-up times. It was going nip and tuck there if I was going to win or not, so there was a lot of fast people out there, but luckily it all worked out in the early stages, and I just played the percentages, really just kept a good, consistent pace, and I was just looking at who was around me, who was faster and all that, and I was just, very pleased to finish third. That's it.
Well, you've been a worthy champion so far this season, Jack, and you've shown that you've had the pace in these cars all season long. So congratulations.
Yeah, well done, Jack. Congratulations on the championship.
Also in the booth we've got David Yunt, who had a reasonably quiet drive from what we saw to 10th position, but you had 1 or 2 battles in there as well. How did you find the Suzuka circuit?
Well, apart from myself, I like Suzuka, but I'm not really a fan of these cars. So it was just a matter of, trying to stay with the guys in front. What worked about mid-distance, but then just made mistakes and couldn't go that pace. There was 9th, was all I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very specific driving style that you need to drive these cars, and it's one of those where you find it difficult to make up the time if you can't find it originally. But I mean it's been a reasonably successful WS season for you. What do you think?
Well,
another championship next time round.
I prefer getting back to the V8s and World Touring Masters because I can predict the car much more than these DTM cars that I thought would be different than they are. But I think I've had my share of joy and fun in this championship. So who knows what next season could be.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a lot of fun so far in the World Supertech Series in various different ways. We're also joined by Ben Tusting, who's been up and down this season, wouldn't you say, Ben?
Definitely. Definitely. That's the best word to use.
we've seen some very good performances and some very poor performances, but yeah, I mean today was a pretty average one, don't you think?
Yeah, I've never got the hang of Suzuka, just never. It's always in, I think it's Spoon. I never get that corner right. Never.
Yeah,
ever,
it's a very tricky corner. It's a very important corner as well onto the back straight.
Yeah, because if you run too deep, then you get stuck on the curb, and then you literally just so much time. So I've never got the hold of it. And I don't know, with this setup, the back end was always everywhere. I could never predict what it was going to do. It was quite annoying, really. I did have a nice battle with Strauss in the opening stint.
that was
quite rough.
Incredible.
But,
that was we were wondering whether Strauss had taken something. To be honest, it was it was absolutely mental. It was.
Yeah, I didn't quite. I was just, I wasn't going to let him pass. He was quicker, but he doesn't. He doesn't deserve just to drive straight past me. But he got past me somehow. Maybe a bit of contact, but.
You reckon?
Yeah, I got damage all the way around the side of my car and rear wing. But yeah.
Well, it's worth watching. It was very exciting. We were sure you were going to end up in a massive accident, and in the end you managed to avoid the barriers. So well done. But of course, it will be investigated. I think Strauss was a bit annoyed that we'd spun over the curbs in the Castillo Triangle early on, and dropped back through the field. But anyway, that will be looked at. Let's not dwell on that one too much.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say much, But.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us, everyone. We've also got Ryan Callan in the booth. Just by the way, thanks everyone for driving in the final race of the season for the €15 for the regular drivers and the €15 for the newcomers. I think it was a system that might be employed in future, certainly for my championship. So thank you very much, everyone.
That's because you're so rich, Toby.
Hello and welcome. Well, yeah, we can save money.
He's from Oxford, of course he's rich.
All right. So here it. By the way, I was just about to introduce our third member of current Touring Pro Series staff. Of course, we've got a couple of extra members joining, and that is Ryan Callan, who's normally doing the commentary. How did you find the race today, Brian?
Well, I watched the closing battles. I watched the quick start of the race as well, but the closing battle, and first I want to say what a great championship from Jack. Easily the most dominant driver throughout. We should have had lower numbers than normal in the Touring Pro Series, but the actual quality at the front of the field has been quite deep, and we've had 7 and now 8 people with Dave Allard who've been able to challenge for wins throughout the season. So it's been impressive from Jack to come through that, first of all. So massive congratulations to you. Second of all, another Torborg Dave Allard classic. It's becoming customary. So congratulations to you guys once again.
It really was very tight at the end. We were unsure as to who was going to win that one. Talbot looked like he was desperate to make a move on Peter Davila, who was controlling the front of the field through the pit stops. Obviously had a better strategy.
Davila needs to win one of those little mini battles. Davila usually comes out trumps in the overall picture, but in the little mini battles, Talbot seems to get the better of him. So I think Davila needs to hold him off next time. Great sportsmanship from Dave Lau as well, because it's easy to be gutted after losing it on the final lap. But he came on here, was very, very calm and very, very gracious towards Torborg, and it was a great win from Torborg as well, who's also had a great season, just a little bit more patchy than of course Jack's.
Jack was the dominant driver in the World Supertech Series, and it'd be nice to see him doing the same in the World Touring Masters, which the next race is at Virginia International Raceway in a week's time. You can see that here on Multi-BC at the same time as tonight's race. And we've also got the V8s on Saturday, haven't we, Ryan? We have. Penultimate round of the championship. It's very, very close at the top of the table. Torborg still has a chance to win the title as well, if the results go his way. If he wins the next couple of races, then he's definitely got a more than a sporting chance of winning the title. But it's really between the 360 Racing teammates of Strauss and Schlemo. Very, very close at the top of the table, and Strauss has had the momentum lately, so he's fighting back at his teammates. It's going to be extremely interesting on that extremely narrow racetrack as well, so you can tune in for that. Broadcast starts around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, GMT, so yeah.
I'll be with you there for that one, Ryan.
just going to say Keith will be there. I'm hopefully going to be driving if my thumb holds up to it, and that's at Sydney Park on Saturday, so you can catch all the action here on Multi BC in association with the race department.
Keith will be there. You can't get rid of him.
Yeah, no. Not in the winter time. You can't get rid of me. That was a good race all around, and thanks for having me in the booth, Toby. It was good to see the season off, and look forward to seeing what you're putting together for the next WSS season. And amazing racing, period.
It was quality racing today. There was battles all down the field, and really an excellent show for everyone who watched it. So thank you everyone for watching, and thank you everyone for driving as well, especially those who came in for an interview. So thank you. There will not be another DTM championship, I don't think. I don't think anyone particularly got on with the cars, but we've got something else lined up for the next season of WSS. It's a multi-car championship, and it should be very exciting. That'll be in the spring of next year, spring of 2012. I won't reveal too much, but it's definitely going to be more high-tech, high downforce tin tops, and it's going to be a very exciting championship indeed when that one comes along. And you've got the ATCC coming up as well, Keith.
Starting in January 13th, running pre-season events every Friday until the season starts, up through the holidays. 8-race season. It's going to be our 4th season running, expecting anywhere between 50 and 70 entries, as just like it was last season. So live broadcasted again with Toby and Ryan in the booth. Thankfully, they stay up really, really late to do that for us. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be Friday nights, late night for the Euros, 9 p.m. for the US.
We'll be looking forward to that one. So that one starts January the 18th, did you say?
13th on the Friday.
13th, January the 13th. So Friday the 13th for the first round. That should be interesting. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, Keith, and thank you for your words, Ryan, and thank you to all the drivers who came for interviews, and for all the drivers who raced in the WSS Season 1. And we'll see you all again for the V8s on Saturday. So until then, thank you very much for joining us.
Do I need to do any... Is this finished or not?